Welcome to the harvest edition of And They're Off, where we bail up our finest crop of ideas and ship them right to your computer table. Steve Haskin, Breeders' Cup is right around the corner. One very interesting decision is about to be made. We touched on it last time. There are an awful lot of moving parts around Princess of Sylmar and the benefits of running her versus not running her in the Breeders' Cup distaff. Steve, why don't you fill us in on these many scenarios?
It's going to make things very interesting. Well, let's just say that Ed Stanko, her owner, is still admittedly floating 10 feet off the ground. Even though it goes against his initial gut feeling that he had early in the year, it's hard for him to let go of that feeling, and I can't blame him. He's on a Princess of Sylmar high right now. And whether it's the right decision to run her, who knows? We're not going to know until after the race, maybe not until next year. The way I look at it right now is that basically Stanko is playing let's make a deal, okay? Behind curtain number one is an almost sure 3-year-old filly championship. Now behind the other two curtains are a possible horse of the year and a can of squid. which basically amounts to nothing. Nothing. No championships at all. No 3-year-old, no horse of the year. Now, it's at this point it looks like he is going to pass on curtain number one, and he's going to take his shot at the other two curtains. And now we'll just have to see which one if he chooses the right one. All we can do is just hope that he makes the right decision. You know, he keeps saying, and the same thing with Todd Pletcher, and all trainers do this. He say, "Well, we'll let the horse tell us." Wrong. A good filly, a filly like Princess of Sylmar, is always going to tell them that she wants to run, unless she's lame or she's sick or she's exhibiting outward signs. They're always going to tell you that. She works 49-3. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she wants to go. I mean, what would she have to do not to run? You know, work in 56 or something, or come to a dead stop at the 8th pole? You know, horses have a way of fooling you, and you know, they know that. But it's their decision on what they want to see in the long run with her.
Yeah, of course. The three doors and let's make a deal depends on how Beholder runs on that race relative to Princess of Sylmar. But good one, Monty. I am not one to tell owners what to do with their horses. You know, they have that right, and good for them. But I will say this, which I learned from my dear old 8th grade teacher, Miss Gedbar, who always told us that first thoughts are usually best. And Mr. Stanko's first thought was that this filly has done enough. It's time to rest her for the rest of this year, bring her back as a good 4-year-old. I'm just saying what he said, and it wasn't early in the year, Steve. It was after the Alabama, so it was in late August that he still very much felt that way. So, right. So good luck to them. But again, I must say, Miss Gedbar was right with that. First thoughts are usually best.
Obviously it's great for the Breeders' Cup, okay? I mean, everybody in the Breeders' Cup wants her to run, and it's going to make for an exciting race. And, you know, it could turn out well. Like I said, I don't know what's the right decision, what's the wrong decision. I know about gut feelings and going against them. You better hope that your second gut feeling is the right one and your initial one was the wrong one.
Yeah, I think you only get one gut. All right, Steve, we all know about Princess of Sylmar and Royal Delta and Game On Dude, Groupie Doll and Wise Dan. There are a whole bunch of interesting potential Breeders' Cup participants who maybe a lot of people are not as familiar with, at least until now. Steve, who you got as some bombs out there?
Let's start sniffing for those potential sleepers that might be a pretty huge price in there and might have a pretty good shot. And we're going to start with Slumber. And what better name for a sleeper than Slumber?
Yeah.
But this horse, listen, this horse is Bill Mott, Juddmonte horse. This horse was the hot horse for the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic. Everybody was touting this horse as the best bet of the day. And the horse ran a tremendous race. The horse came from out of it, got into, lost the momentum a little bit and was flying at the end of the race, was beaten only a length and 3/4, finishing 4th with 3 very good horses in front of him, and it was flying at the end. Now, this horse went into this race with 1 start in 12 months and 2 starts in 22 months. It just might be that tip was 1 race too early, that this is the race that this horse is going to be tipped for. This is a potential star. He's a very talented horse. He's a classy horse. He's shown that in Europe, and he's shown it here. So one of these years, Aidan O'Brien is going to get that elusive Breeders' Cup Classic. This is going to be his 13th starter in the race, and he's been trying all these years to win it. Got beat a neck with Giant's Causeway, and ever since then, he's been trying to make up that neck. He's got a really good horse this year in Declaration of War, who's missed actually his last 2 starts if he doesn't run Saturday at Ascot. But he's going to be a very dangerous horse. And I would give you Bob Baffert's recent maiden winner, Tap It Rich, except that horse is going to be so highly touted that he may go off at 2nd or 3rd choice in the race. So, but this horse could be a potential star. One cardinal rule: never throw out a Calder horse, and we've got 2 of them coming. Best Plan Yet and Scandalous Act, who won the 2 divisions of the Stallion Series. Both won big. Both times were very slow, but they're very fit, and they're going to really like this track. And one jockey under the radar is Edgar Prado, who used to be one of the top go-to riders in the country, but doesn't get the big mounts anymore for whatever reason. Well, he's sitting sneakily on a potential superstar in Graydar in the Classic. And what a great story that would be if Edgar Prado can win a Breeders' Cup Classic.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, does the time of Tap It Rich's race, does that bother you at all, or it's irrelevant?
The time of which race?
Of Tap It Rich. I think he went, 136 and 4?
No, it does not bother me because the track has been pretty loose. I spoke to Baffert about it, and he says they've put sand on the track and it's gotten kind of loose. So that really doesn't bother. They went fast early and, relatively okay.
What a impressive visual performance that was. Holy mackerel, he's got to be the 2nd choice.
I know. Anybody who hasn't seen that race, I strongly advise to watch it.
Yeah, that was something. All right, great. We got some off-the-radar horses for everybody to consider for the Breeders' Cup. As I'm sure you've heard, the Breeders' Cup this year will run a race for Arabian horses, but you may not know about some of the other new races on the Breeders' Cup undercard this year. So, as a public service, and they're off presents the top 10 brand new events just added to the Breeders' Cup card. Steve, kick us off.
Okay, number 10, the Kittens Classic. It's a race limited to Ken Ramsey horses. This could be oversubscribed. And all horses not by Kitten's Joy must pay a $100,000 supplementary fee.
Yeah, there's only room for 14, so they may have to run that one in division, Steve. Number 9 new race, the Lunch Truck Dash. These lunch trucks have proven to be very popular at Santa Anita, and from the tips I'm getting from the clockers, the taco truck is a real runner. Steve?
Yes, literally. Number 8, the Fire Engine Sprint. This will only be held if there are no wildfires in the area.
The number 7 Santa Anita Past Presidents Classic. This is limited to 14 stars as well. Another one that could be divided into divisions. I believe Mark Verge and Lonnie Powell, Steve, are the morning line favorites in this one. I hear Lonnie's getting into shape.
Number 6, the Mandela Match Race. For the 10th anniversary of Dick Mandela's 4 Breeders' Cup winners, Pleasantly Perfect will return to run against Johar, and Half Bridled will race against Action This Day. Amazing. 4 winners. Unbelievable. I'll never forget that day.
Behold that day. All right. Number 5 new race, the Celebrity Sprint. Hollywood stars will be timed from their limos to the Turf Club. 1 confrontation with paparazzi per star is allowed.
Okay. Number 4, the Mule Mile. Hey, if you're going to run an Arabian race, why not mules, who at least have a history of running in California? The only problem is trying to find a starter who can get them to move.
I hope Taz and Sarah Jane Nelson are still around for that one. The number 3 new race at the Breeders' Cup, the Kardashian Marathon, because those Kardashians just keep running and running and running and running.
Yes, sadly so. And number 2, the Chairman Chase. Frank Stronach of Santa Anita and Bob Evans of Churchill Downs will compete in the 20-yard dash to see who gets the Breeders' Cup in 2015.
I would pay for that one, Steve. That's terrific. And the number 1 new race on the Breeders' Cup card this year, the Trainers Turf. All Southern California trainers chase Bob Baffert around until they finally catch him.
Very good.
There you go. The 10 new Breeders' Cup card races this year at Santa Anita. I think the NBC Sports Network is will cover those. All right. Steve, I'm going nuts already with these names of race meets that are run in places that have nothing to do with their names. First it was Oak Tree at Hollywood Park. Then we had Barrett's at Fairplex, at Pomona, at Barrett's, whatever the heck that thing was called. I walked past the TV yesterday. There's a race at Monmouth Park at Meadowlands. I mean, you know, next year we're going to have Hollywood Park at Los Alamitos. Steve, I'm telling you, if this keeps up, I'm going to have a migraine at my stomach. What?
Well, listen, you know, I didn't want to say anything, but being you brought it up, I'm going to mention it now. I hear from very good sources that this show is soon going to be, and they're off at Derby Dozen.
and they're off at that handicapping show. What the heck is going on here? Doesn't anybody run a race meet where it's supposed to be run anymore? I'm going nuts from these names. I'm insane here already. All right. We want to thank our viewers. We want to thank our great sponsor, Darby Dan Farm. We will be back with you in 2 weeks, October 29th. That's going to be a Tuesday. Live on tape. Steve and I will be together at Santa Anita Park for our Gala Breeders' Cup special. California, here we come. Steve, have a great trip, and we will see you live at Santa Anita.
Yes, you have a great trip too. We'll see you there. Hopefully I'll have another Fort Larned for everyone.
Very good, and a camera that works. We'll see you then.
Take care.
Bye-bye.